Hi, JPO here again. This this time I'm going to hone a Dovo Bismarck racer using an Arkansas type of progression, just to have a deeper look into what's going on with these Arkansas stones. So this is a soft Arkansas stone that's dressed with 800 grit sandpaper, and this is also shaped to a convex shape, so it's curved in both directions. So in this case, the fact that it's convex isn't really that interesting, but yeah, more on that later. So this razor had been honed with tape previously, and it had a flat bevel. So now this is essentially resetting the edge on this. So as you can see, these Arkansas stones are quite fast when the surface is active enough. So yeah, they're really hard and really nice to as an alternative to your typical water stone, or wet stone as people call them. But this is also the act of sharpening was also referred to as wetting. So that's what why the stones were called wetting stones, and not because they were wet, but just because that's what they were using them for. So so when these stones are freshly dressed, the stone releases some particles, so it's not a slurry, but it acts as a accelerator on top. So as you can see, it's the removal of material is quite rapid. So that's why I'm going 2 rounds here, just to now I'm after rubbing this steel a while, the surface settles down a little, so this creates a finer edge. One of the most important factors here is pressure, in my opinion, on these stones, and I will show that in the next step, how this affects the edge. yeah, so for anyone who is haven't seen these edges up close, they are quite rough, and yeah, so that's the reason why jumping from a soft Arkansas stone to something like translucent might be a difficult jump. So it's the apex is it's really hard to bump down back with a really hard stone like a translucent Arkansas stone. So I prefer to use a bridging stone like a slate, or maybe also like something like Alaloon with slurry, just to knock down these apex serrations before I go to the Arkansas translucent. So this is also a soft Arkansas stone, and it's also dressed down with 800 grit, and it's also burnished a little with this cortical stone. So this creates a finer surface, but yeah, as I will show in the next microscope slides, because I've now cut in a slightly concave bevel, the effective pressure on the edge is actually higher. So this step is actually going one step back. So this step is more or less redundant, but yeah, it's also nice to know. So pressure is almost or as important as the surface condition of the stone in terms of the results you get. So yeah, because these stones are quite comparable in fineness, and are treated quite similarly, except this is flat, and it's also the surface is also finer, but still it gives more rough apex condition. So pressure is really important. Yeah, as you can see, the actual apex is quite rough, but these striations don't go deep, so they mainly affect the actual apex. So, and yeah, so that's the reason why I'm now using a bridging stone to sort of bump these rough to the striations or the apex condition a little back to prepare it for the final translucent Arkansas stone. So for this, in this case, I'm using a water Vare stone. You can also use typical slate or something else. The idea is to keep some of the tutti nature of the edge while still creating those tutti striations a little rounded so they're smooth on the skin. And these water Vare stones are they do cut a little, but they're mudstones, so they're really slow. But yeah, for this purpose, they work really well. If I had moved to a J-nut edge at this stage, I wouldn't go to a Arkansas stone afterwards, because most of the fingerprint from the arc is lost quite quickly. And just for reference, this is a hair. So this magnification is probably around 700 or 800. Yeah, and as you can see, the edge still looks a little rough, but these I think the slurry has done something to the to these rough pointy teeth, so it's really not easy to see exactly what it has done, but trial and error is also a good approach here. So this have worked really well in the past. So this translucent Arkansas stone from Dan's is also treated with 800 grit sandpaper, and as you can see from the swarf it generates, it's just not just polishing; it's actually removing a fair bit of seal. But that is also partly because of the condition of the edge that you bring to the stone. So if you bring a 10K edge to this and you see a lot of swarf, then yeah, you did something wrong on the way. So, but in this case, since I'm going from another natural stone, I expect to see more swarf, and this is why I like these translucent Arkansas stones better than the black ones, because you really you can see the material that is being removed and what's going on. Yeah, I also like the feedback a little better, but the final result is quite similar to hard black or surgical black. Would be really nice to have a full-sized stone of this size, but shipping stones from the US to Norway is yeah, it's too expensive, in my opinion. And this was bought locally, so and yeah, it's more than large enough, but it's always nice to have especially a thicker stone for hand holding. Yeah, as you can see, the stone is actually removing a fair bit of seal, so it's you get the impression that these are not usable for anything else than take a 12K edge and do some post finishing work, but they're a lot more capable than that, in my opinion. So now I'm going several rounds to, and the swarf is diminishing each time. So I'm not sure what the effect the swarf interaction with the apex of the razor has. Almost, I assume that it also has an effect if you just let it get to build up. So yeah, but this is just something I do. I use baby wipes. They're lint free, so yeah, so you get an idea when you're starting to get a refined edge, because you generate less and less swarf. I don't have experience to the right experience to judge just from feedback. Probably there's a lot of people that like these stones and swear to them, and probably have some feedback indicators that are dialed in, but I don't use these stones enough to know how to judge the edge just by feel. But the amount of swarf that comes off, and how this becomes less and less as you progress, and as this one indicator, and it also feels like the stone pulls down the razor a little more when you start to get close to the finish line. finally there seemed to be a lot less worth coming off, and yeah, will always be some, but yeah, based on previous experience, this amount of work is enough. Yeah, again, just for scale. This is and I'm also going to show how important stropping is. This is the edge on before stropping, and after stropping, I think I used around 50 strokes on linen, and a lot of laps on a leather strop. So this now bumped up the magnification, so now you can see what in engineering terms referred to as adhesive wear, where it actually it looks like the steel is melting. So these striations, or this toothy apex condition is you can see the shape is rounded, so even if it looks rough, the shape of these striations are important. If you look at the same magnification on a synthetic edge, these are typically sharp and pointy, so this makes a big difference. So this happens, there's a variety of, or probably a long explanation why this happens, but it's basically the steel reaches its yield limit, and because of these high spots, and yeah, it's steel is malleable, so this really shows the importance of a good stropping after, especially something like a cortical or an Arkansas edge. So yeah, I've showed these types of images before, and of course you get the laughing emojis, and yeah. So this provides some context for those that are have an open mind and are interested in seeing this up close. But, of course, you don't shave any better by knowing this or seeing this, but yeah, it's can add one dimension to your understanding of especially the importance of stropping. It does more than just align the edge. It also does this. Yeah, so that's all for me today. So thank you for watching.